Hi everyone, it's Mark Repp, Technology Trainer for Port Huron Schools, and it's time for another tech tip. Today we're going to look at Google Forms, and we're going to create a quiz that will automatically grade itself. That's right, it's a brand new feature of Google Forms, the self-grading quizzes feature that I'm going to take you through step by step. So here's what we have to do to get this set up. First of all, you need to have some kind of a form that could be used as a quiz. So here's an example that I've created. I've used multiple choice primarily for this quiz. As you can see, the multiple choice quiz option is over here at the right. Other options that you would have in doing a question would be checkboxes, drop-down menus. You could do a linear scale. You could have a multiple choice grid. For the name of the student, you'd want to have first name followed by last name, and then that would be the short answer question. If you wanted an essay question from a student, that would have to be graded differently, and that would be a paragraph question. So first of all, you come up with your questions, and what I'd recommend is that you make the questions all required. That way a student cannot skip any of the questions. You'll see in this question, I chose the drop-down menu, and in this one, I just chose multiple choice. Either format would work in a multiple choice question. So I have my first name, my last name, those fields are required. These are the basic questions that I've set up. So now, how do we make this a quiz? I'm going to take you through some of the features of the new Google Forms. In the top right corner, you're going to go up to the Gear button, or the Settings button. Click on it, and then you'll notice that what used to be one tab is now 3 tabs. They broke it up into General, Presentation, and Quizzes. It all used to be found under one tab. Quizzes is new, Presentation is now a new tab as well. First, let's take a look at General. If you don't want to have to require a separate question asking students for their email address, simply require them to log into your domain. In my case, it's our school district. I check that box. And if you want it to require email addresses automatically, then you check the next box, which says Collect Email Address. You also have the option to limit students to 1 response. And then down here where it says Response Receipts, you could make this optional to where response receipts are given to students only if they want it or always. I want to rule out as many possible ways of cheating as I can, so I just don't check this box at all. And then students won't receive an email that they could forward to their friends. I also don't allow students to edit after they submit. This is just a judgment call. It's totally up to the teacher. Again, this is another option where students could see a summary of their responses. I leave that unchecked as well. Again, it's up to you. In the Presentation tab, you could show a link for students to submit another response. And you can customize your confirmation message. You could have it say something a little bit more customizable or humorous if you'd like to. But this is the part that I want to focus on for right now, and that is how do you convert this basic form into a quiz? What you'll want to do is click on the Quizzes tab and then click Make This a Quiz. It will then allow you to assign point values to questions and allow for auto grading. And this is a feature that teachers have wanted for a long time. In the past, you always had to use an add-on like Flubaroo and grade the form from the Google Sheets view using the Google Sheets add-on. And while I like the auto grading feature of Google Forms, I still don't think it's quite as good as Flubaroo. For teachers who don't want to have to learn Flubaroo, this is the next best thing. You can choose to release the grade immediately right after students submit. The other option would be to send grades by email, and that again is up to you, the teacher. Students will be able to see missed questions, correct answers, and their point values. So I'm going to click Save, and now I'll show you what this does. As I scroll down the quiz, I'll click on each question. Because each question has a separate answer key, you'll want to click on each question and then click Answer Key. Then over here at the right, choose the points possible, which will be 1 point, and now I'm going to choose the correct answer. In this case would be Nexus tab 3. I could always click Edit Question and I could change any possible answer here if I wanted to. Now I'll click Answer Key and you can see the correct question has been noted. 1 point possible, and I'm ready to move on. For this question, I'll choose 1 point possible. The iPhone is not a tablet device. If I click Answer Key again, you'll notice that it's now indicated in green that that is the correct answer. I scroll back down again. It says choose the correct answer, which is not a version of Windows. That would be OS X Panther. 1 point. I'm on to the next question. Which tech device runs a Microsoft operating system? That would be this one. Correct answer is Surface Pro 4. If I clicked Answer key, you'll notice that the green answer is checked. You can toggle it on or off. Because the correct answers are indicated with green check marks, I know that all the correct answers are indicated. You'll see that it says Edit Question at the bottom, which means that each one is done and ready to edit if necessary. Now I can send this to students by clicking Send. I could send it by email. I could send it by a link. I could even shorten the URL by clicking the checkbox here, and then I could put this on my interactive whiteboard screen by way of my projector. I could embed it into a website by copying and pasting this into my website editor. Or another way would be to go to my Google Classroom and create an assignment. I click Create Assignment. I'll type in today's tech quiz as my title. I'll make it due tomorrow, and I'll go into my Google Drive and find this particular quiz. Click on it and click Add. Now I can click Assign. To show you what a student would see, I'll switch over to a student account. So now the student will go to my Google Classroom, which they could drag onto their bookmark bar, and there's the quiz. Student would then click on the quiz, take it, and submit. Now as the teacher, I would go in and I could view responses in sheets. The responses would look like this, and view the responses within Google Classroom. What I like about the new Google Forms is that the responses are now in the form of a tab. So I can get both a summary of responses as well as individual responses. I can see how each student answered the quiz, and their total points are right here. And I can see how each person answered the questions. You can click the arrows to scroll through each student's response. The Summary tab allows you to see more of a graphical format. So that's a quick look at the self-grading quiz feature of the new Google Forms. I'm Mark Repp. I hope you join me again for another Tech Tip.